All right, so we are going to look over the directions for this pork tenderloin. I should probably mention on the website when I was ordering it, it tells you what, dishes, what you need to cook it, like a pan or an oven or whatever. I didn't really pay that much attention because I assume I'm going to have the most of the basic stuff. But it does tell you all that on the website before you order it. So that's good. I don't know why they feel the need to tell me green beans are in here twice, but okay. Prep time 10 minutes, cook time 30 minutes, calories 550. Okay, so it is currently 12:52. So let's see how good this prep time is. What does it say? Whiskey business. Before heating the pan, again, it's step 5. Whisk together the stock, concentrates, honey, and water in a measuring cup. This will yield a glossier, soft, and save you the trouble of opening packets and measuring at the last minute. I don't understand what that means. All right, I need 2 baking sheets, paper towels, a large pan, kosher salt, black pepper, and cooking oil, and butter. I have some of those things. Let's see how much of that I actually need. Roast potatoes. Okay. Wash and dry the produce. All right. Dice the potatoes. Toast one side of baking sheet with, oil, salt, pepper. Roast on middle rack. So I'm probably gonna try my potatoes in my, do I want to try them in my air fryer? Maybe I'll just do the toaster oven. Okay, sear pork and prep. Meanwhile, packed pork. Why is pork have an asterisk? Oh, down here. Pork is fully cooked when internal temperature reaches 145 degrees. So I guess I need to bust out my food thermometer. Pack and dry with paper towels, season all over with salt and pepper. Heat a drizzle of oil in a large pan for medium-high heat. Okay, cook, blah, 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 turning occasionally until browned all over. 6 to 8 minutes. Once it cooks, while it cooks, peel and mince garlic. I don't know how to do anything with garlic. Probably gonna ignore that. I'll throw the stuff in, like it says over here, even though I'm not sure that I will care for it. But I think I'm going to ignore the garlic. I'm hoping that instead of heating a drizzle of oil, I can just use vegetable spray, pan, because that's what I have. So, so that's what we're gonna try. Okay, roast green beans. Once the potatoes have roasted 10 minutes, remove the sheet and carefully toss, keeping on one side. Add the green beans to an empty side. Drizzle with oil, salt, and pepper. Okay, put back in. Then roast the pork. Okay, so we sear the pork on a skillet, and then we need a separate baking sheet for the pork. Okay. Heat a drizzle of oil in pan, blah, blah, blah. Add garlic and thyme. This is the sauce. Am I going to do the sauce? Oh, that's what this thing was that I said I would do. Okay, so I guess I will. So oil, garlic. I should see if I have any powdered garlic. Just use that. And thyme. Stir in the concentrates, honey, and water. Okay. Add in butter. And then finish and serve. Let pork rest 2 to 3 minutes after removing. Okay, so I do not have rectangular baking sheets. I have one for my toaster oven. I don't think I have any others. So I have like pizza baking sheets. I don't know if that's fine or not. So I am going to explore my kitchen a little bit and see what I come up with. Okay, so after a quick 30-second search around my kitchen, I did not find my baking sheets, which means if I still have them, they're in a tote in my garage that I haven't gotten to in the year that I've lived here. So I live a 2-minute drive from Dollar General. So I went and picked up a 2-pack of baking sheets for $4. Went ahead and grabbed some actual vegetable oil so I don't have to use spray. And I saw a meat thermometer there too, so I grabbed that. But then, of course, as soon as I got home, I was like, I wonder if my meat thermometer is in the drawer that I think it's in. And it was. So now I have 2. Whatever, that's fine. So I'm gonna give these a quick wash and we will get started. Okay, my oven is preheated to 450 degrees. I have moved the racks to where they told me, which I've literally never done before. I barely even preheat my oven anymore. I have washed and dried my potatoes, and I have diced them. It said into half-inch pieces. This is what I got. So my oven just beeped. So it says toss on one side of a baking sheet. I'm going to leave them spread out and then move them when it's time to put the beans on. I feel like that's better because I don't want them close together, I think. It says a drizzle of oil. I don't know how I'm supposed to get a drizzle out of this, but we're going to give it my best go. This seems like a lot. Is this a lot? Should I, like, toss them around in the oil? I feel like probably. It doesn't say to that. Oh, well, it says toss on one side with a drizzle of blah, 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 blah. To me, that sounded like throw it on one side and then do this other stuff. Oh, that was also a lot of salt. I'm near the end of my container of salt, and let's grind some pepper on there. But yeah, I'm gonna mix this up a bit and see how that looks. We'll go ahead and use a kitchen utensil that is almost certainly older than me for this. Because why not? I don't know what kind of tool you should use for this. Probably not this one, but I can't remember the last time I've used this one, and it seems like it will work. So there we go. All right, so I am going to spread them out. It says to do it on one side, but I feel like they're going to cook better if they're spread out, and then I'll move them over when I have to add the beans. So there we go. Do those look ready to go in? Go in 20 to 25 minutes total. So I want to, but it says you will add more after 10 minutes. So I only want to put them in for 10 minutes. All right, here we go. All right, I've got my pork patted dry and covered with salt and pepper. My pan is heating up the oil now, so I'm going to go throw that in the pan. Okay, you can hear my pork sizzling in the background. So in the meantime, it told me to peel and mince the garlic. So I took the garlic over to the trash to peel it and literally dropped one of the cloves in the trash can. The largest clove. So I have done my best to do what I think is mincing, which is just chopping up really small, but I don't really know. And I didn't have that much garlic, and I don't have a garlic press, and I don't really like garlic, so I don't really think it's going to make a big deal. That's what I'm working with, though. It's almost time to put the green beans in, so I'm going to get started on that next. Okay, pardon my messy stovetop, but we've got the green beans added to the potatoes, and here's what my pork looks like. I have no idea if that is good or not, but we're about to throw it on a baking sheet and throw it in the oven. All right, we've moved the pork to a baking sheet. It does not tell me to put any oil or anything on the baking sheet. So we're just gonna go in like this. All right, now we're just whisking together our sauce like it told us to do before we throw that in the skillet. All right, we've got our sauce going now with our thyme and our garlic and then all that stuff that I whisked together. Don't know if I'm going to use this or not, but we're giving it a shot. Right, so all the thyme is done, but my pork is supposed to be at 145, and it's not, and I just tried a potato and a green bean, and they both still feel kind of hard, so I'm going to assume that with my oven, I need to cook a little bit longer, so I'm going to go back in. All right, so I went another 5 minutes, still not quite there. Doesn't say anything about flipping it, but I wonder if maybe that would help. So I'm going to flip this. This still seems a little bit hard to me, so I'm going to toss that around a bit more. Go 5 more minutes. See what we got. Okay, so I'm still barely breaking 130 on this thermometer. I tried my new thermometer, and Based on how I understand the instructions, it's telling me that it's way over or 120. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to eat it and see what happens. Okay, so here we've got it plated. We got my pork, which may or may not be safe to eat. My potatoes, which actually taste pretty good, now that they're tender enough. And my green beans, which I'm not a fan of, but they're okay. My sauce does not look like the sauce in the picture. It's much darker. I don't know if that's because I threw it into the same pan that I browned the pork in. I dumped the stuff that was in there out. Then I threw it in the same pan. I figured that would give me more flavor. But this doesn't look appetizing to me. Is this supposed to look good? I don't know. So I've got it here off the side. I might dip in a couple forkfuls. Is that a thing? We'll try it out, but I'm skeptical about that sauce. All right, so here you go. We're about to bite into this. I'm not gonna put the whole footage of me eating on camera, but I do want to revisit some of the claims made here. Prep 10 minutes. Just dicing the potatoes alone took me 10 minutes. Now you could say that that's because I don't have good knife skills, but who is this marketed towards? Not chefs, not people with great skills, people that don't really know what they're doing. So my prep was probably closer to 20 or 30 minutes. Does stuff that you're doing after one thing has started cooking still count as prep? Right? So like after I put the potatoes in and I have to pat down the pork and season that and then mix together the sauce and blah, blah, blah. That's all prep work, right? Are they not counting that? Because technically, since you've already started cooking, it's not prep work anymore. I feel like I probably had almost half an hour of prep work, even if some things had already started cooking. 10-minute prep, no way. 30-minute cook time. So I had to add about 12 minutes to my cook time, and it still doesn't say it's done, so I still don't know. I might have to go and put it back in some more. The vegetables seem done after an extra 12 minutes. So, you know, I guess if you do the math, it probably adds up to that. But to me, if you say 10-minute prep, 30-minute cook time, that tells me that this should all be done and ready to go in 40 to 45 minutes. It is now 2:30, and I started this at 12:30. Now, yes, I did take a trip to Dollar General in there, but the whole process of me looking for that stuff in my kitchen, deciding it wasn't worth it to drive to Dollar General, driving to Dollar General, getting the stuff at Dollar General, driving back, washing those dishes, drying those dishes, and then getting back into it, that whole thing was less than 20 minutes. So 2 hours minus 20 minutes is still over an hour and a half, which is still twice as long as what I expected from this thing. So I was hungry at 12:30 2 hours ago when I started this. I'm very hungry now. So this is supposed to be one serving. So I got one more piece of pork and then half of my potatoes and beans over there. This is supposed to be one serving. I'm very hungry. So I will give my thoughts in a bit on how I think it tastes and how satisfied I am eating it. But it took a long time. So let's cut in and see if this looks safe to eat. I'm struggling to keep my head in frame and also my plate in frame. The safety conscious part of me says that I should have thrown this in longer, but then the other part of me says that probably would have made it taste bad. It looks done. Let's see how the pork tastes. All right, so if I'm not a food critic. I don't review food. I'm very picky. I eat, chicken tenders and stuff like that. If I had to say something about this, it tastes pretty good, but it's pretty dry. The fact that I cooked it an extra 12 minutes might have something to do with that. But I do like the taste. Let's try the sauce. I'm pretty nervous about this. Come on. Not a fan of the sauce, but that bite went quicker, so that might help with the dryness. But I don't really like the taste of the sauce as much as the pork on its own. So, I don't know. As I've already said, I like the potatoes. I do want to add a bit more salt to them, though. So, these potatoes, I believe, if I recall correctly, are a side on multiple other dishes. That's a side that I would eat. And green beans, oh, my dogs see that I'm eating now. Green beans I'm not a fan of, but I can handle them. I think my phone is slowly tilting forward. I think that's what's happening. So I'm going to finish this up quick. Potatoes are good. Green beans, pork, still undecided. Tastes good. Feels dry. All right, so a couple more things here to wrap up our pork tenderloin segment here. First of all, I threw both of my thermometers in some ice water. Looks like the ice is completely melted now, so it should be slightly higher than 30 degrees. This one reads over 40, and this one reads just under 30. So, I don't know. I got to figure out how to, what do they call it? How to, like, zero them. How to, there's a word that I'm thinking of that I can't think of. Calibrate. How to calibrate these. But, you know, maybe it's good that I got a second one, because this one's pretty old. Maybe it's not so good anymore. I guess the probes are also touching the glass, so that might be affecting the readings. Anyway, I'm looking into it. The pork seemed fine. Hopefully I don't die from food poisoning. So I ate one serving. I definitely wouldn't say that I'm full. I'm still actually kind of hungry, but, you know, I'm a big boy. I'm hungry all the time. But I am going to put away this second serving for another time. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I kind of want to do the tacos tomorrow. Because I'll have more stuff coming next. I don't know. Anyway, here's my second serving. That's going to go in the fridge for later. So, my takeaways at this point are that I need to take the prep time and the cook time with very much a grain of salt. But, like, other than the sauce, that picture is pretty close to what I got. So if all of the pictures are accurate, you know, you can't say that for a fast food chain. So that actually makes me more likely to enjoy some of this stuff. Fact that absolutely everything was separated, you know, because I've never used one of these before. I didn't know how it worked. It could have been that the whole sauce, the stock and the honey and the thyme and the garlic and everything like that could have all been blended together. I guess I don't know how that would work chemistry wise, but like in my head, that could have all been blended together, but absolutely everything was separated. So the concept of I want to get some, you know, if I want to get something and just not put something on it, I don't think that's going to be an issue. So that's good. So overall, my thoughts on this concept, I think, are a little bit higher, but this particular experience wasn't fantastic. But the pork tasted pretty good. It was pretty dry all the way throughout. I'm going to go ahead and say that part of that is my oven and part of that is my temperature or my thermometers. So hopefully I can nail that down for future things. But I am going to go a second week with HelloFresh because my order for this next week has a burger and then the other one is like turkey tacos. But a burger is something that like any food service that I test this with, because I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but I want to try a bunch of different companies that do this and see what I like best for my purposes. Because there's lots of lists about like what's the healthiest option, what is the best price, what has, the least amount of calories, what's the best for different diets. But like I said, I'm a picky guy, so I want to know what's best for me. So I want to try a bunch of them out. And I feel like a burger is something that I would like, because even if I put nothing else on it, if it's a burger, I'll probably like it. So I want to try at least one burger from them. I also kind of want to try a chicken dish, because I eat a lot of chicken. I feel like part of my brain, when I picked this meal, thought it was chicken, because I wasn't paying enough attention. And I do like pork also. But I could have sworn that I had picked a chicken meal, and there was no chicken meal in this week or next week. So maybe there's one that I looked at but didn't pick or something. But I don't know. So I'll stick with it for one more week. Not happy that the price is going to double. I'll be curious to see what the price is going to be the third week, and I'll decide based on that and based on how the next 3 meals go, whether or not to continue with HelloFresh. But I will be trying some other services out later. But that's going to close it for this meal. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I don't know that I can give you an answer, but I will try. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.